From the Denver Broncos Media Center, welcome to Broncos Country Tonight.
Welcome to Broncos Country Tonight. Great to have Steve Atwater back in studio with us. What up, Steve?
What up, R.L.? I'm happy to be here.
It's good to have you here, man. We're all fired up about training camp. The Broncos have arrived in the building. We got training camp this week. It's going to be a lot of fun. Memories, very quickly. Memories of the eve of, right before getting here, seeing the fellas, getting amped for the season. What was that like?
Man, it was just exciting, really just, getting to see the guys, knowing you're going to be back together. And back when I played, we actually went away to training camp. So it was quite a bit different. It was kind of a deal, kind of going away from my family, departing from my family, like going off to war or something. But
because if you're staying in the hotel for several weeks, then
yeah, well, we actually stayed up in Greeley. We were in the dorm rooms.
That's right.
It brought back a lot of college memories, and it was just a great experience. We really enjoyed it. So I imagine the guys are really looking forward to it, getting back together. The anticipation. Everybody's really confident about what we think is going to happen this season. I know I am. I think you are too.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, a little bit.
We're all pretty excited.
Yeah, I'm a whole lot excited.
I get that sense, Ben, from listening to Cortland Sutton and Justin Simmons during their press conference with the media. You get a little bit of the sense that the guys are they're kind of jumping out of their shoes a little bit. They're ready to get going.
I think so. And there's a lot of, Nathaniel Hackett's emphasis on competition. There's a lot of emphasis on that. And I personally can't wait to look at all the competition, specifically at quarterback. I mean, who's going to win the job between Russell Wilson, Josh Johnson, and Brett Rippon? No one knows.
No one knows.
It's
except for all three of us.
Future league MVP Brett Rippon, according to Billboard.
Anyways, back to reality for just a second. Way to go, Ben. There you go. Derailed. We got 2 minutes in.
We got new theme music on this show. I'm trying to give the viewers a little humor as well.
Yeah, a little spark.
And not just from my haircuts.
Okay. All right. Steve, in any of those seasons, as you were getting ready for training camp, everybody's excited. Did you know your team was good? Did you have any kind of anticipation in that moment, or was it not until you guys put on the pads? What was it not until you got on the practice field?
Well, I'll tell you what. Right from the start, I always thought we were good. I always thought that we had a chance. And then as the season went on, and then you win games, lose games, and, you kind of, oh, dang, we get to a point where it's 13, 14 games in, like, oh, man, we're probably not going to make the playoffs. Then the reality hits. But, once Mike Shanahan became our head coach, I don't know why. Things just seem different, and I'd never experienced it up to that point. So I didn't even know what it was like to be in a championship-type environment. But when Mike came in and instituted the offense, just the way he talked to us, the way he treated us, it just seemed like it was different, and I think we played with much more confidence, and we were a much better team.
Well, and I guess that's a little bit of what the Broncos are hoping with Nathaniel Hackett, isn't it?
I think so. I think you've gone from a football defensive coordinator who maybe had a bit of an old school mentality to an offensive guy who has a little more charisma and all that. Maybe there are some parallels to kind of that. And I think that's what it is, creating a more collaborative work environment, feeding off the input from players and those kinds of things. That's part of the reason Nathaniel Hackett is here. That's part of the reason there's a large optimism about his potential success.
And he's running the same offense that we ran when we won.
I mean,
same blocking scheme anyway.
A little bit of tie there.
Scheme. Yeah, that outside zone, baby.
There are a few players that are not going to be available right at the start of training camp, and that is going to be Randy Gregory, Billy Turner, and KJ Hamler. So what does this do for both of you guys? We'll start with Steve. What does this do for some of the competitions that we're going to see? Right tackle specifically here, it seems like that might be an opportunity for Calvin Anderson.
Yeah, I just saw Calvin Anderson yesterday. We got a chance to chop it up a little bit. He and his girlfriend, and they're a beautiful couple, and he's fired up. He's ready to go. He's hungry. And, guys who are free agents who have had to really fight for everything, they don't take anything for granted. Whereas sometimes when guys are drafted, sometimes they may take for granted, oh, man, I don't have to go as hard this day. But that's a mistake. That's a mistake that players make sometimes. But Calvin Anderson, man, he's in, he's ready to go, locked and loaded, and it's going to be some great competition at that position. And, Billy Turner, great player as well. I think that I think Tom Compton's the other.
Yeah,
other right tackle.
He can play some guard. He plays some right tackle for the 49ers. Sure.
Yeah. So we got 3 guys. All 3 of them have had playing time. We know that they can play, but we're going to find the best out of those 3, and it's going to be great competition.
It is. I've been on the Calvin Anderson train for a while back. Calvin turned down a 2-year offer from the Broncos to take the 1-year offer and bet on himself this season. I like that. I like that kind of intensity.
Yeah.
I like that kind of confidence in yourself. Billy Turner obviously starting on the pup. That's going to get Calvin an opportunity. He's going to have reps. He's going to have a lot. The focus is going to be on him. We'll see if he's able to hold up. And if he is, it'll be tough for Billy Turner to come in and try and lap him.
Another one we knew, Randy Gregory was going to be on the pup, and the expectation, according to George Payton, is he'll be ready for the season, and I know that the Broncos have every anticipation that he is, but now you have an opportunity, right? You have not only Nick Bonito, the second rounder for the Broncos, and heard from George Payton saying he loved how he closed out the offseason training. But you're also going to have Baron Browning out there competing for an opportunity. Malik Reed, of course, is still there. Bradley Chubb is still there. But it seems like some opportunities, at least in the short term, to get an idea what the depth of your roster looks like.
Absolutely. You're going to get more reps. You're going to get more opportunities to take a look at this stuff. I think it's a good thing. And I have it on good authority that Randy Gregory will come off the pup well before week 1. In fact, he will be available before that last preseason game.
Yeah, I hope that's the case. I know when guys have been injured, it takes a little while to get back up to full speed, especially when you're coming into camp. Just recovering from an injury, especially a surgery. So he's a great pass rusher. Hopefully he'll be able to pick right back up where he left off. But yeah, it's going to be a great competition, and it'll give Nick Bonito a chance to compete for that position. Baron Browning as well, and I think either of those guys, they could start as well. Because they, I think that now I haven't seen Nick Bonito obviously at this level, but I've seen Baron Browning play inside linebacker. But my eyes tell me that he's the guy that makes plays regardless. You just put him on the field, he's going to do something.
Well, we saw him at Ohio State as a pass rusher, as an outside linebacker. He looked fantastic. Saw him at the Senior Bowl as well. So we know that he has that in his arsenal. And then for KJ Hamler, it's already a really loaded wide receiver room. KJ is a guy that he does something on this team that nobody else does. So his roster spot, as long as he's back, is safe. I'm not really worried about that. But I do think it gives you an opportunity maybe to get a little longer look at Montreal Washington, maybe in the offense, because, again, he has some of that similar skill set as KJ.
Yeah, and, it's awesome when you have one burner on the team. KJ Hamler is that guy who has the trailblazing speed. And we got Montreal Washington, the second guy who has speed similar to KJ Hamler. And to have both of them, 2 weapons, I think is a big plus. Now, obviously, for KJ Hamler, his biggest thing is going to be staying on the field. We have a few guys like that. I think Bradley Chubb is like that. I know he's anxious about going in here and proving everyone that he's the player that everyone knows that he can be. But I told him, man, look, don't even worry about all that. Get all that pressure off you. Just focus on being your best. Don't worry about the injuries. Don't worry about anything else. Cut out all the distractions. And then I was sending that same message to KJ Hamler. Everybody's worried about it. Let us worry about it. Don't you worry about it. You go out there and give it 110%, and good things are going to happen.
Love it. All right. Last thoughts here. What are you looking forward to seeing? Right? when training camp begins, what are you going to have your eyes on?
Oh, man. Well, inside linebacker. There are a lot of high hopes about Jonas Griffith. And obviously, Josie Jewell coming off the torn pec injury. I think he's 100% back now. But just seeing how those guys fly around, I think that's my only little bit of a question mark on the defense. But again, how well those guys played last year with all the injuries that they had, I'm very optimistic that they'll match that level and even surpass it this year.
Okay, you?
Offensive line and pass rush. I want to see, the pass rush has been a problem the last couple of years. There's going to be competition at 4 spots on the offensive line. I'm looking at both of them. Yeah,
I'm going to be taking a look inevitably at how the secondary is looking beyond the starters, because those guys are going to play. Michael Ojemudia had a nice offseason. I want to see how he continues to work forward. Caden Stearns didn't really get a lot of time with team because he was hurt, so he's going to get a chance to get back out there. I want to see what his role, if he slides right back into that dime role, maybe he gets a chance to be starter. Maybe K-Jack slides down in the box. I think there's all sorts of really cool things you can see there with the starters and even with the backup guys, because there's going to be some competition in the back end of that roster.
Yeah, I think George and the rest of the scouting staff, they've done an amazing job of, really putting together a roster of great athletes. And, I think it starts with that. And then when you throw in the coaching and the motivation, I think we have the works of something that can be special. And again, it's early on. I'm not going to make any predictions right now, but I'm super optimistic about this year.
I was going to say, I was worried about you being gone for so long that you might have decided to become a Lucha Libre full time after watching that video.
Rumors coming out of Mexico. You and Bradley Chubb were going to do like tag team thing down there. Did you bring the mask with you at least?
No, Bradley had the mask on, man. Bradley was all in, man. I couldn't put the mask. The mask was too tight, man. I probably would have burst a vein in my head. But Bradley, he'd been the young guy that he was, man. He was all into it, and it was very entertaining for me. I enjoyed it. The folks, they were super nice, man. We felt right at home down there. And we really got a great fan base down there in Mexico. Yeah.
So these videos I got of Lucha Libre circuit down there with the wrestler called the Smiling Assassin, that is not you.
That's not me.
Okay, all right.
That's not
me.
you.
Did he win?
Yes.
Oh, that was me.
That could be. All right. For Steve Atwater, Benjamin Allbright, I'm Ryan Edwards. Thanks for watching Broncos Country Tonight.
Denver's going to win. You can stand up and salute in Denver, and you got the world champions that live in your town.